1997 Women of Achievement Award winners are a diverse group of women from a variety of backgrounds. What they share is the desire and ability to reach beyond the ordinary to achieve the extraordinary, and the results benefit the community and the region in many ways. From education to healthcare, from cultural enrichment to community service, these women are on the front lines of social change for the better, and that makes things better for all of us. For achievement in community healthcare, the honoree is Mary Carol Archie.
I work on programs that will improve the quality of life for the people in our community. I am employed by the SSM healthcare system as a vice president for Community Health Styles Institute. What I have done for the past few years is work on programs with people in collaboration that will definitely impact and make change in people's lives. And we have to start with the basics and getting people food so that they can eat.
Mary Carol is a tireless, energetic, dynamic personality. Anybody that meets Mary Carol, you walk away knowing this woman is committed to improving community health.
SSM has always had a mission of caring about people. They've always had the mission to be community involved. And I have always worked on programs that involve community collaborative efforts working together. We know that we can only make a difference in some of these major programs that have been with us for years, these problems, decades, generations. We have to work where the people are if we're going to make a difference. And together, working together, we'll make that difference.
The award for civic preservation goes to Ruth Bryant.
Well, I've always loved books, just the tactile aspect of books, and I've read all my life, and I've gotten very interested in libraries. I'm president of the board of direction of the St. Louis Mercantile Library. I'm the new president of the English-speaking union, the St. Louis branch. I am on the Chancellor's Council of the University of Missouri, St. Louis. I also chair the awards committee for the Library Associates of St. Louis University. So I'm sort of ecumenical where it comes to education and libraries are concerned. The Mercantile Library was founded in 1846. It's one of 17 remaining subscription libraries in the country. Anybody can use the library, but to check out books, one has to be a member, and the membership fee is very nominal.
Ruth is an exciting, dynamic woman who moved here from the South and brought her leadership both to her professional career as the first woman vice president of the Federal Reserve System, and then after she retired to her volunteer career, where she's contributed incalculable hours and time and wonderful leadership to the St. Louis community. She's been chairman of the Salvation Army's Hope Center for Children. She's worked with chamber music organizations and arts organizations of all kinds. Her most recent and effective leadership has been with the Mercantile Library Association. The Mercantile Library was struggling with its future, a declining membership and participation in its collection, and she worked with the board in a way that was fair and equitable and defined a future for it that will enable it to merge and work with the University of Missouri St. Louis, where it will have expanded space, new staff, and will have an opportunity to grow even stronger.
In the category of cultural enrichment, Judy Smith-Champ leads the way.
I guess I've always been a do-gooder. Maybe that's how I could put it. My first job when I graduated from college was in the housing project schools, Clinton Peabody. So I had a sense maybe then I thought I could save the world or save one child. That's always been kind of the driving force, that I want to make a difference and help. And whether it be the arts, which I think the arts definitely need people that are able to have the time to fundraise for them, or if it's an organization like Girls Incorporated, where to me it's terribly important that we provide a safe place for the girls to go after school and all day in the summer. Girls Inc. is nothing like a home ec class. We have computer courses that the girls are very excited about. We've had computers donated from some of the corporations. When I talk about the arts, we avail our girls to not only art classes, but we give them the opportunity to attend, say, the Nutcracker Ballet, sponsored by Dance St. Louis. They go on field trips to Lamar Sculpture Park. So we try and provide an environment where they learn to love the arts. We do have some recreational studies for the girl, but all of our teachers, too, are professionals. So this really does make us unique, and it is not just a place for them to come and play after school.
Judy brings a lot of care and concern to the program, as well as a very personable approach that is evident when she interacts with all of us associated with this organization, whether it be a board member, a staff member, or a Girls Inc. participant. There's a genuine sense of concern, as evidenced, for example, last summer, there was a young girl who was having a difficult day. She stepped out into the hallway and she started crying. And Judy was visiting the center and she observed this, and before any instructor could get to the young lady, Judy was right there, taking care of her, offering words of support and encouragement. And the young lady stopped crying, began to smile.
What I love about it is you can give them a hug and their face lights up, and they have smiles on their faces when the volunteers come down here. And it's a two-way street. I'm not just giving, I'm getting a whole lot from these girls. And I think that's probably the nicest feeling in the world.
Due to her innovations in creative philanthropy, Jane Freund Harris has few peers.
Creative philanthropy means to me what I've been doing for a good many years, making giving so attractive that people want to give. You don't have to get down on your knees and beg them to give. If you make it interesting and fun, I find people will flock to our door and help us put on any event we're trying to put on and raise money for a worthy cause. I am primarily a fundraiser. I like to raise money. So I create events, put them together. I feel a little like a conductor of a symphonic orchestra. I put all the parts together and let them play their part, and we have a finished production, I hope. My family was very philanthropic. My father, during the Depression, I can remember him going around taking apples out of his pocket and giving it to people, and I just had a tradition of giving, and I feel people who don't understand giving are missing half of what life is all about.
Jane has never really sought to be an officer or director of any organization, although I think she was a member of the first board of the Opera Theater of St. Louis, and right now she's probably the longest serving member of the board of directors of the St. Louis Symphony. But Jane likes to help the organization down on the working level to raise the funds to enable the charity to fulfill its mission, and she's very dedicated to that end. She gives direction to the staffs of the organizations on whatever form of charitable fundraising they may be engaged. You know, we gave the secret garden to the Missouri Botanical Garden, and the marker for that garden says, seek beauty and find love. And I think that Jane lives by the motto, help others and find joy.
In the field of education, the honoree is Sandra Hudson.
I'd had a lot of training through Junior League with fundraising and had a number of opportunities on a smaller scale to work on a variety of fundraising projects. And so when I got to the Urban League, I transferred a lot of that knowledge and just the process of how to organize and how to build a broad enough base so that you pull in different levels of involvement and different levels of revenue sources so that you can spread your opportunities as well for the end result, which hopefully is a positive profit at the end of your fundraising project. I think that everyone sets priorities in their life, and those priorities should provide guidance to that individual as they make decisions. And when you think about, what's important to you, is it important to you to amass a great deal of money, to have a lot of material goods, or is it important to you to make a difference in the life of one child or a family full of children, and to leave behind a legacy in terms of the values that you hold dear to you and that you want to share with those children as they move into adulthood and begin to make decisions of their own.
Sandra is one of those special individuals who are absolutely committed to making a difference in the lives of other people. I think that's her sole purpose for being on this earth, is to make life better for other people. As we talk about those individuals, those special people that really make a difference, who are role models, who embeds that enthusiasm that cause other people to want to get excited about a goal or a cause. Sandra is one of those individuals who rally other people to get things done. She's one of those individuals that make it happen.
I cannot perceive of a viable society without volunteer commitment.
The award for community betterment goes to Linda Jean Schrouder.
The program that I work with is Project COPE, which is an acronym for Congregation Offender Partnership Enterprise, which in itself explains sort of what we do, which is to connect persons on their way out of prison with teams of supportive people in local congregations to provide holistic care and friendship for a year after release from prison. The religious community has resources that are not being fully tapped, and people coming out of prison have deep needs and are facing obstacles that only the friendship of caring people can help them survive and surmount. And it just seems clear to me and obvious that within the religious community are the resources to meet the needs of these folks, and so to get the two together is the objective of our program.
I think Linda Schrader is an extraordinary person of strong faith who wants to do all she can to help people in our community, but particularly the neediest members of our community. And the ex-offenders are certainly among the neediest. They're people who often don't have homes, don't have friends to help them, and are in danger of falling back into the same behavior patterns that got them into trouble in the first place. Linda is a quietly determined woman who manages to inspire other people to do things that they never would have imagined they would do on behalf of ex-offenders and to help people in our community. Many people will say, oh, criminals, let's just lock them up and throw away the key. But the reality is that that doesn't often happen. These people wind up back in the community and at risk of committing crimes again unless they can change their behavior. That's where Linda Schrader and Project COPE come in to help these people lead more productive and crime-free lives. Here's a particularly touching tribute from one of the ex-offenders who wrote in support of Linda's nomination. And she said, "It's impossible for me to list each and everything Linda has brought to my life, emotionally and spiritually. I do hope and pray that this nomination doesn't go unnoticed. Linda is truly one of life's unsung heroes. I also hope that she realizes how many lives and hearts she has touched."
For me, the real success is in seeing a life that has become productive, seeing a person blossom and become integrated into the community and know that he or she is forgiven and loved and able to go on with life in new ways.
The champion of community service is Glenn Johnson Sheffield.
Well, I think there were some people in Webster Groves who didn't think that it was possible or even a good idea for a woman to be mayor, but there were others who were very enthusiastic about it. And because of my name and the confusion that often occurs that I'm a man, I put a picture of myself on my yard sign so that people would know that I am a woman, so I guess in the end I thought it was a plus. I got involved with Edgewood as mayor and got to know it very well, and since retiring as mayor I've had the opportunity to be a lot more involved here. Edgewood serves children who have been severely abused or neglected, who have severe emotional needs. These are kids who have experienced incredible traumas in their lives and who need the special kinds of services that Edgewood provides.
Glenn Sheffield has been a member of Edgewood's board since 1991, and she's just been an incredible asset in any number of ways. She's about to become first vice president. She's been an officer before. She's chaired several committees, been a part of other committees, a member of other committees, and she does both the leadership positions and also just the kind of work that's required to make any board function in order for not-for-profit organizations to work well. She has a unique ability to take very complex issues, cull them down to the essentials, lay out the possible alternatives and help everybody move to consensus.
There's so many things in this community that are worthwhile, interesting, and so many other interesting people involved in those institutions. It's been a real joy to be one of them.
In her work on humanitarian concerns, Terry Shores has excelled like no other.
To me, humanitarianism is the opportunity to be out there with people, for people, to be able to work with them and enjoy the diversity. I do what I do because I love working with the people I work with. I love the pride of completing a project and seeing it done. I love being part of a team. I think working on When Women Lead the Way, which was the video that Dudley Grove and I worked on, was a real culmination of my work in the community as far as being a part of a team, networking with people, and having the pride of seeing a great project come to completion. It's really exciting to know that the project we started here in St. Louis as a pilot project could be replicated across the country and pull women together in other communities as it has in St. Louis.
Terry has tremendous energy and sets priorities so that she can do all the wonderful things she does. I started her with the book fair, and what she has done since the book fair, I mean, I take great pride because this was the organization I dearly loved, but she has really gone on. I'm just flabbergasted. She's wonderful. And she's a wonderful human being. I think that's a very important thing. Terry was also on the board of the Nursery Foundation after the book fair, and then she went on to the National Council of Jewish Women, the zoo, and the Humane Society, and just all these wonderful, wonderful things. And now she has a wonderful job at University of Missouri St. Louis. She's fantastic. I taught her that she should never worry about leaving her house in a hurry and leaving in a mess, because it isn't important.
Helen taught me early on you can't do two things at one time, and that it was okay to leave the house a mess and get out into the community, and so I took her advice seriously, and that's what I've done.
Historic preservation has long been a calling for Lucille Stamen.
Years ago, my dad used to tell me about a story that his friend was the mayor of Collinsville, and he went over to Germany, and everybody was asking about Cahokia Mountains, and he didn't know anything about it, and hadn't even been down here, and here was the mayor. So when Dad told me that, I decided, well, I was going to find out about things in the city, and really I did have parents that would tell about what happened when they were children, and I just liked history. I really helped form the Council Historical Museum, was president for 11 years, and I was author of the Collinsville history book, and I've written articles for the paper, a number of them, 90 of them about the miners, because Collinsville was a coal mining town. And I also, right now I'm writing an article, I've been writing it since '93, about the downtown Collinsville. We're really proud that the city has annexed the Cahokia Mountains. It's just wonderful to know that the mountains have gone this far to have this beautiful new building.
Well, Cahokia Mounds is the largest prehistoric Indian site in America, north of Mexico. Originally covered between 5 and 6 square miles. There are probably about 120 mounds originally, and at its peak, somewhere between 1100 and 1200 AD, maybe as many as 20,000 people were living here. So this is a premier archaeological site. We decided to establish a new not-for-profit organization, the Cahokia Mounds Museum Society, and Lucille is instrumental in getting the loan from the Collinsville Chamber of Commerce to purchase the inventory of the gift shop from the State Museum. She's also a founder of the Cahokia Mounds Museum Society and has contributed in many ways over the years to the site, is always promoting us wherever she goes, and we certainly appreciate that.
We've come a long way to being recognized, and I hope I played a little part in it.
Social responsibility has been given new meaning in the person of Nancy Verteber.
I'm involved in the disability rights movement, and over the past several years I've been involved in different facets of issues pertaining to people with disabilities. One of the earliest in the 80s had to do with accessibility for people with disabilities to the city polling sites. We found that over 90% of the polling sites were not accessible to people that used wheelchairs, who were blind or deaf. I've also been very much involved in working toward making the zoo train accessible and other parts of the zoo so that children and adults can enjoy our wonderful St. Louis Zoo like everyone else. I am a part of the Catholic community here in St. Louis, and found it disturbing that Catholics could not enjoy the beauty of the old cathedral at the foot of the arch because of 3 steps. And so I, along with other members of our community, have worked hard and diligently over the past 17 years since I've been here to persuade the Archdiocese to make the old cathedral accessible, and we're proud that this year it happened.
Nancy's one of these unique people who's got this great quality to get people to listen to her and to get things done. And that really is an interesting quality because there are not a lot of people who can do that. And she does it very effectively. One, she's got a wonderful personality, she's smart, she's got a great sense of humor, and you put those things together when you're trying to get something done that most people don't want to listen to. She's very effective at it. There are a lot of disabled people who are going to benefit from an accessible zoo train, from the old cathedral, which is a great church and a great historical monument in our community.
I think in having a disability, you either muster up a lot of strength and support from others, or you wither and you retreat. And the exciting thing is that the disability movement across the country through the 60s, 70s, 80s, and now 90s has grown tremendously.
There you have today's honorees. Through their leadership and devotion, they have enriched the community beyond measure, and for that, we are thankful. So let's congratulate these women, these 1997 Women of Achievement.